Get along.
Pull the trigger. I said pull the trigger, Stevie now.
It's pool.
You're one of the black people I
The,
like, Stevie now.
oh, that's great. 'Cause we're live.
We are live. That
We've been
needs
live
context.
for about 20 seconds now, and they got all that.
That certainly needs context, but I'm not going to provide it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yes,
Take
we're
it how you
live.
want.
Once again, it is episode 59 with Coach Jak.
Coach Jak in the building.
All
What's
right,
up,
all
baby?
right.
What's up?
Yeah, and we're about to find out about what he coaches, who he coaches, what he does. But we're going to get into a little warm up right now, as we usually do, get ourselves situated topic wise. So we're just going to highlight some things going on in the community when it comes to celebrities, man. This week has been a good week for that. So first of all, let's talk about Young Thug and Gunna. You know, those are artists for those who
I like the
don't
way
know.
you said Gunna's name, man.
Oh,
You gotta say, like, Gunna. So Young Thug and Gunna went to Fulton County and posted bond for 33 inmates. And they did that through their YSL label. So it's a good thing to see, because a lot of those guys were being held for much more than, the monetary value of their offense, which is a problem in the community. Fulton County has been notoriously overcrowded, but, what do you guys think about that? For them to go in there and affect these 33 men's lives like this?
I think it's inspiring, because I feel like a lot of times what you see in media, and especially with Black men, and then those who are artists as well, they're always highlighting what they're doing if it's like breaking the law. So it's really nice and refreshing to see that there's people out there that care about the community in that way, to give back in a way that makes the prison or the jail cell less compacted, in that way. So it's good to see that they're using their money for causes like this. So it's really refreshing, especially amongst all the other things that are happening in our community. Like what we were talking about last week with, George Floyd, and, the young lady who was shot, multiple times. So it's just kind of refreshing to just, to see, our Black men in a positive light. So that's how I feel.
So I feel good.
I cannot.
Nah, man, I like that, man. You know what I'm saying? All these jokers, they be out here spending money on crazy stuff, but they really pour it back into the community to help some people out that might be misfortune. Because a lot of people ain't got that bail money, man. They be out here claiming they got money with them shoes and them fake chains and everything, but they can't afford legal fees. So how you a real dope boy and you can't even get yourself out when you get in trouble? That mean you out here selling nickel sacks. You know what I'm saying? Your pit bull ain't even real. You had to get Young Thug and them out here to come get you out. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug and Gunna. You know what I'm saying? They said they got diamonds on their chain, dancing around this
thing.
Exactly.
I thought you were gonna get that. Yeah, that's
exactly. But then, they out here trying to help these people with less fortune. But what they gonna do after Gunna and them get out? Y'all better run, because that's probably all the money they gonna give y'all. And jail time, man. Just don't drop the soap, all that stuff like that, man. Protect yourself. Got to protect your neck, like Wu-Tang said.
But they're out of jail.
Right.
Darius, like, oh, okay. Anyway, so
hey, they just got them out on bail.
True. You're right.
Yeah, they still got to
facing.
Let me tell you the process.
Adjudication.
Okay. Judge
I've
DJ.
I've been to county before for beating up somebody in college.
Oh.
All right.
You go. Good. You know what I'm saying? Then you get put in jail. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there. If it's Saturday, you ain't gonna get no hot meat. You're gonna get a cold lonely meat sandwich.
Lonely
You know
meat
what I'm saying?
sandwich.
That's baloney for people that
I
don't know.
know.
No, lonely meat. Lonely.
And you know what I'm saying? You're gonna sit in there, and if you go in there on the weekend, you gotta wait till Monday. Ain't no help for you. You can't call Tyrone. You went past, go straight to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you sitting in there, you wait, hoping and praying that your grandma and them got some money. And if they ain't got no money, here come Gunna and Young Thug. They
Mhm.
got the skrilla. So they get you out. You free and
Mhm.
clear, bail paid. They probably ain't getting that money back. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like the three people Jesus healed. Two of them just gonna run off and tell everybody happy ain't said that, ain't did that. But then you got arraignments. You gotta come back. You gotta see the judge. Judge gonna be like, all right, so you did X, Y, and Z. You gonna go to jail or you gonna get community service depending on how serious the crime is. Obviously, the crime ain't that serious. He got him out like that because he ain't pay no high dollar crime thing. I guarantee that. And then judge gonna either tell you gonna do community service or you going to jail and do service in there. You might make some. They got all kinds of jobs for you in jail, making baskets. I know one jail they used to have you make underwear. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
make license plate too, though.
I don't know if they still make license plate. Do they still do that? Prisoners still make
I
license plate?
thought
They
no.
still make license plate.
I remember back in the day they used to make
Everybody
license
not.
plate.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
That when all the
so
prisons look like the movie Life.
You know what?
so this is not going to be a one-time thing. Gunna and Young Thug said that they are going to come back and do this for more people. It's mostly low-level offenses, so to
Right.
your point, Darius. So kind of an easier process to kind of post bonds and stuff like that. So, but again, the jail is overcrowded. So this is like a problem as far as conditions, especially with the pandemic and everything like that. Um, so, Coach Jak, you got 2 cents to throw into this?
Yeah, man. I think it's a good thing, especially if they got them out with some type of plan. If they just
Exactly.
got them out, it's probably a high percentage chance that them guys are gonna go right back in there. But if they got them out with some type of plan, man, then that's a good thing. Everybody would like to say what the guys should do with their money when they got that type of money that we think they have anyway, millions of dollars from being entertainers and all. But I think that that's the environment they came from. If they want to help people out in that environment, then do so. I just hope they got some type of plan with it, and they just ain't, just letting the dogs out the pen with no type of direction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They can always
Yeah.
come talk to Coach Jak, man. You know what I'm
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
good.
And also, like we said, there's more good going on in the neighborhoods around celebrities. So this weekend, well, it's still going on, the NFL draft. So on Thursday, Najee Harris, former Alabama running back, became a first round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Roll Tide.
Of course, I knew that was
saying?
coming.
Black and
Um,
yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
and I knew that was coming. So, all right, now that we got that out of the way, Najee Harris, ladies and gentlemen. So, usually a first round prospect will have a nice draft party. Now, some go up there and want to shake the commissioner's hand and whatnot, but some people want to celebrate with their family. They have like a nice party at the house or an event hall or something like that. But Najee Harris, in all the process of interviews, workouts, the prospects of becoming a millionaire, thought to have his draft party at a homeless shelter that helped his family when he was a child. So in Richmond, California, this happened. he had his draft party there, had pizza there for them, had refreshments and whatnot as they watched him get drafted. So, roundtable, what do y'all think about that?
It's beautiful, man. You know, he could have chose. I mean, just so me and my sister went to Dave and Buster's on Friday, and when we were eating, we were watching the draft. So it was just interesting to see it in this time because not everybody who was getting, picked to be drafted was there. They were virtually celebrating. So it was interesting to see because it's never happened like that before. They usually are there physically in person. So it almost like kind of they were able to create their own moment. So for him to be able to choose that way, there were so many ways that he could have done that, but the fact that he chose to, be a blessing, in that moment where it could have been all about him, it's another inspiring story,
Indeed.
Yeah, I feel good. You know what I'm saying about that. See, you brought pizza for homeless people. You know what I'm saying? You leave a note in there, an application for a grass cutting service. But now,
what is wrong with you?
But nah. But hey, I feel like that's good, man. It's good representation. You ain't heard nobody from Georgia doing nothing like that.
Nope.
Alabama, Alabama,
okay, all right,
Roll Tide. You feel me?
Okay, wait a minute.
We understand the citizens in the community. Melda, you be quiet because your team got him. Lincoln D's.
Wow, this is a family channel. It's a family podcast.
Darius, we're not even 12 minutes in, and I'm already saying we're about to get unchecked on our family rating. We're about to get unchecked, Darius.
Hey,
all right, man, I'm done.
Application
he keep talking about them Bulldogs. We're gonna get unchecked.
And see, you know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I feel like that's good, man, because anytime a young man recognize where you come from, you know what I'm saying, and what they done been through, man, like a lot of these people have a hard road getting to the collegiate level. You know what I'm saying? You don't never know these. And I heard, I don't seen YouTube videos about Najee's story. And man, he had no good, he had a tough life. You know what I'm saying? Like just trying to get to the point of just being through high school into college. And for him to give back to the shelter, man, that's big, man. Anytime you could touch the community with your prestige and your fame and stuff like that, and you pour your heart back into it, man, hey, man, that's golden. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say that all the time. Like, anytime, if you want to be a great person, show how much you can give. You know what I'm saying? Don't show how much you can take. I said, because if you operate in gratitude, and that is an act of gratitude, you know what I'm saying? That's big, man. Big ups to that young man. I pray you do good. I'm mad you went to the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? That's a very sad thing. Pop, shout out to the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I mean? But they
respectable organization.
Respectable organization, I guess.
I love the Steelers.
Classy.
Man,
got a failure of a quarterback.
He's just old and they won't let go. That's all.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I can't wait till they do a documentary about Roethlisberger.
Oh,
that'll be amazing.
Oh no.
I don't know. They may not. They gonna have to uncheck the family button on that one.
They just might.
Exactly. Because
Roethlisberger
came to South Georgia. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Netflix, go ahead and start investigating Ben Roethlisberger. He already almost.
If Netflix is on the job, they're gonna get the whole story.
Netflix,
unfiltered.
Netflix gonna interview the napkin of the bathroom that he took the girl in.
Oh no!
He like, you ain't even no napkins can talk. Yeah, napkins gonna be up there like, all right.
Good thing we're not on podcast yet.
I tried to wipe it away.
This is not going to be a part of that.
I tried to wipe it away, but it was in there too rough. I guess he thought she was a football. He was like, hut. And it was too
Netflix definitely tells a lot of stuff. Like, look at Aaron Hernandez. They had you thinking you knew, like you were right there.
Bruh, exactly. Like you went to school with him. Like,
yeah, I saw him. I saw that a mile away.
I remember when Aaron was doing that. He was acting very peculiar in class.
Exactly. Wow.
But back to Roethlisberger.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're all warmed up at this point.
Alec Mickens in the chat. What's up, Alec Mickens, baby? Lincoln County in the building, everybody. Alec Mickens.
All right.
Shout out to Alex Mickens.
Shout out Alex Mickens.
Can't nobody moonwalk. Can't nobody tick like Alex.
I cannot.
I don't know, man. Robert Jones got
bruh. Hey, Nina taking, bro.
So in case you haven't really,
him,
in case you haven't put it together, you know, Darius J and Coach Jak go way back.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I hear the bars.
Like old Cadillacs with no flats.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Cause we don't slow down. We go hard in the paint, cuz.
That's right. Tell them about it, bro.
All right. We got people coming in. So now that we're all warmed up, we are about
we're more than warm.
We are more than warm. We are red hot. So we're about to play that intro, and we're gonna see you guys at the other side of the bump.
Yeah. What up, everybody? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Darius J.
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And it's your girl Mela G.
With special guests.
Coach Jak in the building, man. What's up?
And this is
Conversate.
Let's talk about it.
We in here. You still alive? They ain't kicked us off Facebook yet. You know what I'm saying?
Not
we
quite
playing
yet.
No game.
Yeah, but if we do get kicked off, it'll be because of you.
Exactly, because I ain't gonna play that. I say what I want to say. You know what I'm saying?
I cannot, man.
All right, so we gonna see how each other is living right now with the how you living, and we're gonna go ladies first in this instance. How you living, Mela G?
With the bun on her head, looking like
you see me?
An Oreo with no cream.
What? Anyway, continue, Mela.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with Darius, man. It just. Anyways, how I'm living. I'm living really well. So I started my marriage series for. What? Sea Tick Road.
Yeah, that's a haunted road in Lincoln, where we from. Where me and Coach Jak from, we know the road.
Hey,
you don't go down that road. That road haunted.
Who on Sea Tick Road, man?
Hey, bro, who on Sea Tick Road?
That gotta be severe,
right? And that gotta be Byron Big. Byron, that's you.
I cannot. Anyways,
it gotta be one of them.
If it's Bears or Byron, I'm telling you, hey, this show finna go all the way up.
I cannot. All right, so back to how I'm living.
Yes.
But no, so like last week, I said that I was going to start a marriage series. I was going to, I have my own podcast outside of this. And my perspective is more so focusing on single women, single Christian women, just sharing my life, vulnerability, challenges, the victories that I go through as a young single woman, and just trying to get my perspective in that way to help someone out. But tomorrow will be the first part, because this conversation was so good with Steve and Britt. So Steve and Britt was my first couple that I was able to feature in this new series. And the conversation was good, y'all. It was great. There was a lot of great nuggets from that. So I had to split it up. Like, so it's not going to be a one full episode. It's going to be broken up into parts. So I'm really excited to launch that. Part 1 comes out tomorrow.
Hey.
And I'm so excited to be able to introduce this to my audience. I think a lot of the times, I know majority of the audience, especially the people that I know that listen to my podcast, desires marriage. And I feel like it's very important to be able to have friends who are married to seek advice from and just build a friendship with, because why not? Like, why not have, those relationships if that's something that you desire? And so this is my way of being able to bring on my friends who are married to be able to give that advice and in hopes that it will impact, someone to think differently about the way that they're dating, the way that they're building friendships, and then the way they're just working towards, that desire of being married. So that's how I'm living. I'm really excited to see how it takes off and the people who are impacted by it. It was really crazy because my cousin messaged me this morning and she was like, I've been listening to your podcast and it's caused me to take care of my mental health. And I feel like that was super encouraging because it was unexpected. And then 2, it was just like, wow, like I'm really making an impact more than, what I can tell. So I'm excited about what's next.
All right, all right.
That's good. Well, how you live, Stephen Neal?
All right, we'll get into me. Been good. Been living good. I think it's more about what's coming up. I got a little 2-day situation coming up, vacation in Tennessee with the wife's family. We're about to be in the Smoky Mountains.
Okay, Smokey.
Yeah, for her brother's birthday / Mother's Day. So definitely looking forward to that. Just traveling, because you don't do that a lot, in this whole panini that we've been in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's good to kind of get out of these 4 walls, because I work here as well, like my day job in this office, like in this house. So it's good to get out and go places. So, and then of course Mother's Day is coming up, and I'm gonna host my mom for a change for the first time in my adult life. That's kind of crazy. To kind of host her and cook dinner for her. I don't think I've cooked dinner for her at her place, but to have her here and like fix a meal for her, that's like true adulting, right? You know what I mean? So so looking forward to those 2 things coming up, in the next calendar week. And as far as my whole 30, that I mentioned last show, easing off of it a little bit because we're about to go on vacation. Yeah, I don't want to be a party pooper, saying, what I can't eat or whatever, but not going crazy. I still got my water at my side. That's not stopping anytime soon. You know what I mean? And I'll just be careful. And then we'll just hit it after Mother's Day all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good, Stephen Neal. You know what I'm saying? You sounded nice and somber and sad about that party. You
I
can't eat what you
know,
want to eat.
right? I
Yeah.
don't want to be a
I
burden.
felt I,
So.
I felt that pain when he was just like, I can't eat what I want to eat. What's up, Mom? How you doing?
Yo, mama on here?
Yeah, my mama on here. How you
Hey,
live,
Miss
Coach
Young.
Jak?
Hey, man.
what? Oh man, but we'll get to our special guest next. How you living, Coach Jak?
I'm good, man. I'm in a season of like transition, man. So it's been challenging and exciting at the same time because I got, on one hand, I'm continuing to build up my logistics business, but on the other hand, I'm tapping deeper into just my personal growth and development to build up my speaking, coaching, and training business. So and on top of that, I'm doing 75 hard. That's a
Hey,
Oh
challenge that my
yeah.
brother put me on. So yeah, man, it's more of a mental toughness challenge, man. So in the midst of already dealing with a lot of mental challenges with building up my both businesses, on both sides, and making sure I maintain a steady balance and all, and still be a dad and all that good stuff, man. It's challenging, but it's exciting at the same time because I know through all of it, it's just more and more growth. It's making me more disciplined in areas that I didn't even think about. So
Mm.
just being intentional about applying myself, man, and becoming the best version of myself, man, is exciting. I feel real good about it. And in a
Mm.
minute, I say this in the most humble way possible, but you ain't gonna be able to stand close to me in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
um, that's
He
just
gonna
what
have
it
to wear
is,
a
man.
veil,
I can't.
like Moses
Like
when he
who was
came
that?
out Mount
Moses that
Sinai.
wrote the
Yeah,
book?
Moses when he came out Mount Sinai. If he touch you, you might be successful.
I
No,
cannot.
If you homeless, he can't bring you
no,
up the ladder. I'm sorry,
but
but if you on your
my
way,
Nah, man, but it's been challenging and exciting, man, and I do remain humble with the process, but because the goal is not so much as adding value to me, it's more of an investing into myself to grow myself, but also to add value to the people. So, it's been good, man. I won't complain about it at all, man.
that's good. That's what's up.
All right. So how you living, Darius J?
Living good. You know what I'm saying? Just been. I mean, I feel like I just been steadily working on myself, just through reading, meditating, and just getting ready for the next semester coming up, man. You know what I'm saying? I got all Saturday classes. Well, I got one class on Wednesday, one class on Saturday, but just trying to prepare my house, cleaning out a bunch of the old stuff, getting my room ready for I can have more of a studio space and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to be more perceptive. I'm not perceptive. I want to be more. Word don't slip me. I
Take your
want to
time,
be.
brother.
I want I want to be more, you know what I'm saying, intentional. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
want to be more intentional about my day. I want it to be scheduled for if something was to fall through the cracks, I'd be able to pick up the pieces quickly and adjust quickly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna trust in my schedule, I'm gonna trust in the process. Because I'm gonna be a future CIO, you know what I'm saying, running companies. You know what I'm saying? John Maxwell team
Yeah.
certified, all that stuff like that. I want to be able to motivate the future techs of America, the future fathers of America, future everybody. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to pour into the community more. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited about it. I've been being more and more excited about it lately, man, because honestly, man, just being my wife and having some good talks, some good heart to hearts, been connecting more. You know what I'm saying? Been loving each other more. It's just been exciting. It's been an exciting time. It ain't been easy because you know what I'm saying. Learning about yourself, digging into your deep self, is not an easy task, and sometimes you don't like what you see. But on the other side, get better for it because, like I tell you, man, if you ain't been to counseling, go to counseling. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep saying that to the day I die, especially if you black. You don't know how much trauma you been being black. Being black is traumatic in America, especially when you ain't got no ties and you ain't got no real family structure. But that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Mm.
But that's how I'm living.
Excellent,
Yes, sir.
excellent.
Oh gosh.
So we're gonna get into a nice little discussion. Again, this is something that got a ton of traction on the group page. I think it's just going to get a ton of traction in general because it's a topic we could always get into.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, one Mr. Steve Harvey claims that he doesn't have any female friends at this stage of the game. And he was just like, well, why not? Why not? And he was like, well, men aren't set up that way. So basically he's saying that a married man, by his recommendation, should not engage in friendships with women. So we're going to go around the round table here, and of course, to our conversators. What do we think about this? Is it valid? Is there validity in there? Is it completely off base? Is it in between? Let's get into it.
Well, I ain't gonna go first. I'm gonna let Mella simmer and let it sit. I'm gonna let it sizzle in her spirit.
Yeah, go ahead first.
I mean, I think it's a. Let me tell you, it's nuances to life, and I don't put everything in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you shouldn't.
You know what I'm saying? Because things change. But I'm telling you, it has to be some very special circumstances for you to be friends with an attractive lady. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't bring the attraction into it. And some people be like, hey, yeah, I can be friends with a girl, but then you look at the girl, she a booger wolf. And then you be like, oh, I see why you can be friends with that. That's like going to the zoo. But, you know what I'm saying? Then you have people that, you know what I'm saying, like, my bad, Steve. I'm sorry. You know, it is blame Maker's Mark.
What's wrong with Miller, man?
You know what I'm saying?
Bruh. Clear cups from now on.
Objectification, much.
Clear cups from now on in the broadcast. No more thermoses for you.
Apple juice for you.
It's him, man. It's one.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, but man. You know, but I'm just saying, man, because like dudes, they hunt for a reason. Some people hunt like scavengers. Okay. You know, they hang around a girl they know is toxic. Mm-hmm. And then they be like, that's my friend. But the thing what it is, they waiting for the toxicity level to hit the right point for where they can just slide on in. You know what I'm saying? They be like, you know what? I'm the vaccine to this toxicity. I'm the good man you want. I've been your friend. I've been here. You seen it. If you've seen a lot of black movies, you've seen this guy. He always at. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people try to act like that guy around. And that's a sucker to me. You know what I'm saying? Suckers always lie in wait. They ain't men of action. You might as well not even be in a relationship with that guy. Because that guy was in love with the idea of you. You know what I'm saying? And not what, you know what I'm saying, you really are. And just like me, I have a couple female friends. I ain't gonna say I got a lot because I ain't got about one or two that I really talk to that really know me. But just like if you married, the friends you come in with, the friends you gonna have to keep, because it ain't no such thing as making new female friends in a marriage. Because if they be friends with you, they gonna have to be friends. You gonna have to be friends with my wife, because you can't be friends with me. You know what I'm saying? But you also had a dude. I'm going through the whole list of dudes. I'm trying to put you women up on game. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. I ain't gonna reveal the whole game to you. It's a game to be sold, not told. But you know what I'm saying?
Educators.
But the work wife, what husband? Who said that? You know what I'm saying? The work wife ain't no. That is
now that's where it gets crazy. That's where it can get crazy for me.
Let me tell you something. That's a borderline relationship. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because if you emotionally tied, if you share your emotion with anybody, and see my finger, I'm pointing dead at you. If you feel yourself, you talking about you got to work wife, well, hers, I'm gonna see. My wife can't tell me she got to work husband, because you know what? It ain't on it. You got a house husband, a home husband, a husband to protect you, take care of you, and all that. Now you got a work husband. He gonna have to see me because he need to give me some money for these bills. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
Because there ain't no such thing. That's emotional ties, man. You can't be developing them. Yeah.
All right. So before we get any other man's opinion, we need the female perspective here. We got to, albeit single, but still, Mella.
I I wish I would have just like saw this video or this conversation like when it first happened.
Right.
Because I'm wondering what the factors were around in that time. I mean, not to say that it's changed much, but it would just been interesting, like how that, caught the attention in the media and what were people talking about at that time. But anyways, I have a couple of thoughts to this as a person who's single. So this is a singles perspective. I'm not married.
Mm-hmm. I mean, her perspective ain't really a perspective. It's just an idea.
I wish I was in the studio with you so I could chop you in the neck.
I know. That's what's so good. That's what's so good about me being away from you. I can say this stuff without consequences.
No. Okay, it's coming. It's gonna be a switch.
Oh my
God.
At
that point. Anyways, my perspective does matter.
That need to be a song right here.
What?
There's a thin line, but feel a friend inside peace. Exactly.
Wow. Can I share my perspective?
All right, go ahead, man. I was just saying that was a cold line right there.
So, anyways, I kind of see this differently. I did understand where Steve Harvey was coming from, in his short clip of the interview. Now, where I disagree is that he was speaking on behalf of all men everywhere, and I just feel like you just can't put a blanket statement out there and just say that that's how every man think. Now, I am not a man, so I can't say that's not how y'all think, but I do realize that that's not the case for everybody, right? So I think about my best friend Chase. So it's very platonic, but what I can say, I'm not saying that we never had a conversation about, being more than, but it just wasn't the case for us. And so when we had that conversation, so I'm not saying that people aren't friends for that intention, but if you're attracted to that person, of course there's things that can happen, but then you're just like, nah, because we're more so like business partners now. That's all. We do business together, we collaborate creatively, and I don't see him in that way. But that was a conversation that we had and clarified. It wasn't like a, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be your friend. Like, I just feel like that's very manipulative, like to do, like to not to say that it's not done, but I just feel like that's not the only case. Like, I don't feel like men are solely friends with somebody just to slide in at the opportune time. Because I've had my fair share of male friends, and yeah, I won't get into that, but I just feel like it's not. I just feel like it's not the case for like every man. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I'm just saying that I don't feel like every man does it. Now, I can see what Darius was saying in regards to, being married. Now, I feel like that's different. Like, because I feel like that's where Steve Harvey probably was mostly coming from, because he is a married man. So it's like having a friend with somebody, especially that is having a female friend and she's attractive, and your wife is not friends with that person as well, then I can understand that. Like, I'm not married, but if my spouse was friends with somebody that I didn't know, it's a little questionable for me, because I don't know what kind of friendship y'all have, because we're married. But I just feel like that whole, like, I think 99.9% of men think this way. I don't agree with that statement within it. Not to say that men don't, but I don't think it's like almost 100%.
Anybody else want to talk?
Yeah. Coach Jak, I gotta get your opinion on this. I have a few framing thoughts to this whole thing, but let's get into it.
My thing is, man, I agree with Steve Harvey, man. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, I just touch on it. Do I think it's possible that men and women can be friends and not have something going on? Yeah, but he said it. It's like 0.1%. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare. Far few in between are you gonna catch guys and women just like being friends and nothing is either going on or potentially. It's two reasons why people deal with you. It's a reason, then it's the real reason. And those can be one and the same at times. So my thing is, with us as men, And any guy can come at me and try to challenge me on this. He probably, well, I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, my point is this. Most times, if we're dealing with a woman, it's a reason. And the reason is I find you attractive and, I'm hoping we can take it to that other space eventually. It may not be this month, it may not be this year, it may not be the next 5 years, but I'm gonna keep you close just in case. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, I just don't see it working out to where a man, and some people say, "Oh, that's shallow thinking." That's not shallow thinking. Go back to the beginning of the times. It's just the way we made. It's the way we're built. It's the way we're geared. So my thing is yes, it's possible, but it's rare. And then I feel like with a relationship, like I saw one guy say something about work wife, work husband, all that type of stuff. I told my significant other, if you got a work husband, no, that's just your husband, cause I'm gone. I'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. With any solid, real stand up guy, he gonna tell his woman that if you got a work husband, no, if that's what you considering that guy, then that's your husband now. You know what I'm saying? And I'll holler at you. I'm finna go check out my other options. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's very a very slim to none chance that you can have as a guy you can have a female friend, especially if she's not friends with your wife or she doesn't know your wife. If your wife approve of her, that may be okay. Just like same thing, vice versa. If my significant other brought me say she had a male friend or whatever, if I can't meet this guy and talk to this guy and build some type of rapport with him because I got to fill him out, then no, that's a no go. Because I'm pretty sure I would want you to do the same thing for me. Because you may see
Mm-hmm.
something that I don't see. Same thing, vice versa. Like, I'm a man. I know men. So I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna have a different conversation, and I'm gonna hear different things than what you're gonna hear. And I'm gonna let you know, like, nah, he got to go. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to do the same thing for me. But I'm gonna say this, and I'll be done, Stephen Neal. That's why I think it's important to. It's a book called Boundaries in Marriage. I think every couple should listen to that even before going into, if they even considering marriage, because you have to establish those boundaries. What do those boundaries look like for our relationship? Am I okay with you having a male friend? Are you okay with me having a female friend? How does that look? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women will try, they'll try the thing like, oh, he gay. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? If his dog hunt, then it hunt. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you
So
better tell him.
just saying, man. But I think that it's got to be a conversation that's had, and I think it's also the importance of just knowing yourself, knowing what's a deal breaker for you. What would you put up with individually? I know for me, it's a no go. You know what I'm saying? So it just I think it depends on the relationship, but I still agree with Steve Harvey though. It's possible, but it's very 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 slim chance.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because go ahead, Steve, frame us up.
All right. So I have a few things to kind of frame this. I think it's been touched on. Um, there's no formula for this thing, I believe. To Mella's point, even to Coach Jak's point, there's no formula that's kind of can cover like a blanket that can cover all men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Steve Harvey is even speaking from a place of I've been in other marriages. I did cheat on my wife, so I know how I am built. I cannot do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, maybe he has seen with his own two eyes multiple men do this when they're in the exact same situation. So he is kind of prescribing this to men in general from his perspective. But I just don't think there's a formula for it. And then number two, I think has been touched on as well by Coach Jak. Each relationship is different. You know what I mean? Each husband, each wife struggles to a certain degree with maybe other females, other males being around your husband, your wife, or whatever. Um, I think, like Coach Jak said, you got to discuss that. And then once it's established, respect it. You know what I mean? And then even discuss with one another. As a man, I have to discuss with my wife what my weakness may be to a certain degree. I have to be open and vulnerable like that. You know what I mean? So that she knows where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? So that she knows that, okay, I slip up and look at somebody in the grocery store. Where am I coming from that? You know what I mean? What is my struggle with that? And is it like I'm going to set something up with this woman that I'm looking at? Or did I just have a weak moment? You know what I mean? Like I think that has to be established, especially in marriage. So those two things I think is important framing for this issue is communication and knowing yourself, which I think Steve Harvey is coming from that place mostly, is knowing himself, given his experience.
Yeah, and I think that's important too because just like we have to all know ourselves, and sometimes we don't know ourselves as quite as well as we think we do, and sometimes we just like you say, you have to explain your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? You have to explain the things that you find difficult in life. You know what I mean? Because communication is key. What you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes we end up because through how we grow up, how we deal with things, or how we talk to deal with things, we hide things and they manifest themselves in different points and areas in our lives. And oftentimes we, you know what I'm saying, end up hurting people through them things, you know what I'm saying, that we hide in the shadows and the catacombs of our deepest, darkest parts of our hearts. You know what I'm saying? And they manifest. And the thing of it is, those manifestations, you know what I'm saying, even like with female friends, it's like I tell people, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying, that I think that just like what Coach Jak said, boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Even the book Boundaries in Marriage is a good book to read. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something you have to know. And sometimes, yeah, you just have to know and you have to be ready to have them conversations. But you got to be honest with yourself and honest with the person that you're involved with.
And let me say one more thing before we continue on and kind of get some rebuttals. I no doubt have attractive female friends. No doubt. Okay. So
Yeah,
then
I got a couple. I got a couple.
without a doubt. So it's just how you manage it, how you manage that attraction, because like first of all, I can't believe that two people can share an attraction to one another, but it's just how you manage it. I feel like as soon as two people admit their attraction for each other, that's where you play a dangerous game because it has to play out one way or the other. It has to
You
play
gonna
out.
either gonna be kissing in the mouth or you just gonna slap them in the mouth,
Or
whichever
it's gonna
one
be
don't happen.
awkward. Right. You know what I mean? Or it'll be
Exactly.
very well established that the feeling is
Yeah.
not mutual. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So so that it's just how you manage it. Like, okay, and then just over time, you can meet somebody that's attractive, they become your friend, and it's not like you find them like unappealing. It's just the pheromones wear off. You know what I mean? Like, and you're better able to manage it. I've found that in my experience. It's just like you're up
That's your experience in
right
singlehood, right? In singlehood, right?
in marriage.
Oh, you've been. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
In marriage, you're up close to a person. It's just the magic, the pheromones wear
Oh,
off. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like both of the men said in this, we are built. That is how we are wired.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm
That's true.
saying?
I feel
But
yeah, yeah.
now it's
Oh,
like you have to add that extra step to be like, okay, I'm not gonna just let her know what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
get that.
and then in the second part of it is just like, all right, telling you play the tape.
Mm-hmm.
Time will pass. I'll get to know this
Mm-hmm.
person as a friend on a friend level. She's friends with my wife too, because that's the thing too. I agree with both of y'all on that. You know what I mean? It's kind of a dangerous game as well, to have people you come in regular contact with, and you're building this rapport with, that's not friends with your significant other, your wife. It can, it heightens the degree of
yeah,
difficulty,
I feel
So,
you.
yeah, I think it's how you manage how you're built.
Yeah,
That is the key. So, and I know Mela has been waiting patiently to maybe react, or maybe just everything's washing over her, but I'm gonna give her a chance to
come on,
react.
Black Beehive, get little girl.
I cannot with these jokes today. Um, no, I was in my mind. I mean, I'm just listening, because I feel like all of this is from a male perspective anyway. Um, it
Yeah,
coming from Steve Harvey, it just, I
tell us
like
about
what.
the women then. Tell us about the
No,
women.
I was about to address the question that King said. What does Harvey think about married women befriending
King
men?
McDowell.
Yeah, so I wanted to actually pose that. No, not
Yes.
that one. Um, the question before. Um, let me see this one. He said, "What does Harvey think about married women befriending men?"
I
Or
think
not even
that's,
Harvey, but what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I know my wife has friends. Um, I don't know. I think it depends on the situation. Just
Mm,
like it depends on the situation on my side. I know I have a bias toward it, you know what I mean? But
I think all men have a bias toward it, but I'm gonna say this. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think females can have friends. I mean, females are better at, in my um factual opinion, you know what I'm saying, at, you know what I'm saying, guarding their borders, you know what I'm saying? And they know how to hold a conversation with a person without diving deep, you know what I'm saying? Because just like uh uh yeah, man, because I feel like women have attraction to men. I mean, people don't say it, you know what I'm saying? And women won't admit it a lot of times because I was just like, yeah, I know you can find somebody else attractive. You know what I'm saying? Or I know you could be friends with somebody else. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? Because just like, I ain't saying your friendship deep, but if you have a rapport with your coworker, y'all have a casual conversation or two here and there, you're gonna talk about your family and stuff like that. So in a sense, you befriending. You know what I'm saying? Just like I can't not walk out the house and say, "Oh, I ain't gonna never talk to no girl out here." You know what I'm saying? No, it's not true. But you gonna have to present them boundaries and stand on what you're standing on. You know what I'm saying? Up front. You know what I'm saying? By saying, "Hey, I'm married." Woo, 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 let people know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
I don't know, man. I
mm,
tell people all the time, I have to cross that bridge. I know my wife got male friends, and I ain't even gonna say she don't. You know what I'm saying? But um, yeah,
mm,
it is what
I,
it is. If I know him, I know him. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna like if I know him, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it can't be no new people. You know what I'm saying? Just like with me and her, it can't be no new people. You know what I'm saying? Like
and I think I'm kind of picking up what Mel is putting down here.
I'm not.
I feel
I got
It's
an
like, 'cause
opinion on it, Stevie. When you get a chance, go
okay.
ahead,
All
bro.
right. I'll tee you up. I think like we definitely feel a different way about it based on what Steve Harvey's saying, based on what we're saying, that we're wired different, that maybe we wouldn't trust a male friend as much as a female friend in the opposite situation. But I'll let you go, Coach Jak.
Yeah, I mean, why are we friending them though? Like, why
It's
are
a
you
key
see,
question.
see,
becoming friends
see,
with this
see.
guy?
That's exactly where I was
And
gonna
see,
go.
right, that's my thing. Is nobody ask. My thing is, if my significant other come to me and say, "Hey, this guy, blah 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 blah," I want to become friends with him, whatever. Why? Like, what? Why do you feel like it's necessary to become friends with this guy? And I wouldn't be offended if she asked me the same question if I came to her about a woman. But to elaborate on the question that was asked by King Mick, um, my question would be why? Like, why do you feel like it's important to have this guy as your friend? Because if he still got to pass that trustworthy test, I'm not just gonna trust another man around my significant other. Even, now, I understand. That's why I was, like we spoke about earlier, those boundaries have to be established because I understand I gotta trust her more than anything just to present herself well, carry herself well, and stick to the boundaries that we've agreed on when we're not around each other. Whether she's on vacation, at work, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is why? Because I even if let's say Steve got it wrong and it ain't 99.9%, let's say it's 79, it's still a high percentage. I don't care how we look at it or cut the number. It's a high percentage of guys that we're after one thing if we're friending you. So if the woman wants to friend me, it's like for what? Like what? Why do you want to friend this guy? What's important about it? Or, y'all read the same books or y'all shop for the same shoes. So to me, it's just one of those things where I'm like, no, if I don't see a reason to, I would be open minded to seeing what this guy's about. And if he doesn't pass that trustworthy test, then hey, it's a no for me.
Hmm. See, so the reason why I went back to that question, because of course it's different responses for each of you. But I just I kept sitting here thinking, like, what do you consider a friend? In general, whether it's the opposite sex or the same sex. Because what I'm hearing is I'm only befriending a woman because I only see something more with that person. And if that's not, then I'm not going to be their friend. So then it's like, well, what do you consider a friend in the first place? Because it just seems like, well, I'm not going to be friends with a woman because the only thing that I see with a woman, it doesn't matter if they're especially if they're attractive, you know, I only see a relationship. That's the only reason why we're being friends. So then is it like a real, intention and trying to be that person's friend based on what you see a friend is in the first place? Because you think about your male friends, of course, that's different because you guys have a different relationship. You'll have different conversation, whether it's sports, entertainment, whatever the case may be. But then you can't have that with a girl either, that you enjoy the same things and it doesn't have to be, anything more like romantic, but just that, whether
It's
they're
very
attractive or
hard.
not.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. It's very hard because let me tell you something. It's few female. You know what? It's few females I ever found that can actually carry a real conversation with a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you like this. Sometimes people try to say it's you can be friends, but you have to ask what your capacity of friendship is because just
Mm-hmm.
like when a man is constantly giving conversation and stuff like that, sometimes they can seek friendship, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, men most of the time are hunters, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time they go out on the hunt. And the thing that is, just like I say, is nuances to everything. Just like I do have a female friend that is I'm very cool with. You know what I'm saying? Do we talk every day? No. But
Mm-hmm.
when we talk and we get up, we up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even have a lot. Like I tell you, I ain't got a lot of close female friends. I have a few. And some, you know what I'm saying, I can have good conversation with, but they ask me do I talk to them every day or even every 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Or every blue moon, most likely. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at like most of the time men coming up to approach a woman, yes, it start out as friendship, but most of the time relationships are laced with the word friendship. You know what I'm saying? And even just like with women, most time you used to people approaching you. So okay, yeah, you can look at it like friendship because guess what? You're beautiful. You're like a flower in the field. Somebody can come pick you. You know what I'm saying? But you rarely see women going out and approaching dudes in friendship. So how can it be an equal exchange? Like how do you expect a dude not to want something from you, either whether it be companionship, relationship, or friendship? Friendship can be had, but at the same time, if you're not healthy mentally, it can turn to something else and it can get very toxic. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
And
Because
I think that could go both ways
exactly,
as
exactly.
well. Like a man and his intentions.
Yeah.
So, like, just what I seek to kind of answer your question, Mela, to what I would seek. Could I seek a relationship from a female in the same way like I seek a male? Like, okay, I talk easy with this guy, or we have a lot in common, or we're in the same stage of life and we're trying to make it together. You know what I mean? Like, I think to a certain degree, and I mean, it just happens less, but it happens with a female friend. It could be somebody that is constantly like encouraging what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Or somebody who's good with advice, or somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, has a bubbly personality. And when I'm kind of in my mode of being down, a hello from this person can get me back up. You know what I mean? I think it's possible to seek those things. But I do acknowledge what Darius J is saying. It's, you know, I think society does not encourage it in general for a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different reasons.
Right. Right on.
Society does not encourage it. Um, and I just know in my marriage, I know my wife has done a great job in just letting me know that there's no other dudes out here getting my attention the way you do. You know what I mean? I had to grow in that area, in the beginning compared to her. I had to grow a lot because of just how I moved before we got together. I was single almost 3 years just before her alone, let alone just being out there in general. So I was just used to moving in a certain way. And, I did it. I mean, I had intentions. When I would meet women. I mean, varying, and of course, not to say that there wasn't women who from the jump, you know what, we just cool. We just cool. You're fun to be around. You make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Mm.
so we're not
Well,
just
that
out
she had to
here.
talk to you at 12 o'clock, and she made you laugh a little too hard, and then y'all caught eyes. Would that friendship
But
have
you're
to
talking
change?
you're talking when you were single though, right? You
I
wasn't.
Yeah,
am
when you were
talking from when
single.
it's thinking. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
when you
like
were single.
I had very much intentions, and it was a scale. It was like a varying scale. You know what I mean? Like not everyone. It was just like hunt, 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 the same intensity, but it was like varying friendships or whatever. But now I have to. Part of letting my wife know that you know she is only. I'm not even gonna say number one. Only so who has that attention, that kind of attention, then
Yeah.
yeah, I have to kind of limit how I used to move as far as like communicating. And but I think the great friends, whether male or female, or man or woman, I'll say, um, like you said, you don't talk a whole lot, but when you do, it's like, man, like
Yeah.
we never put it down.
Exactly.
We pick it up like we never put it down. I think
Yeah.
those are great friends to have in life in general, and I think a lady that can be included.
Hmm. Yeah,
Right.
I think I mean the reason why I asked it is because I think on both sides of the spectrum there's the intention of when you're building a friendship with someone you desire it for to go somewhere else because you just innately desire relationship, like we desire relationship like as
Right,
humans.
we're communal. Yes,
So
Mm-hmm.
I just, I don't think that, I think on both sides, there's intention for building friendship. Of course, it just looks differently, for a woman than it does a man, of course. But I was just asking that because I just feel like I'm different. I'm talking from experience as well. Because for me, growing up in the church culture, and even before that, I think, within the church culture and then talking about dating, which could be a whole nother conversation for another time, but it was just this I feel like it became toxic because there was so many different things that was communicated to men that they had to do to encourage the women, and it was almost like women just had no place to encourage men, so it was like this one-way street of like the man has to take the woman out on the encouragement date, and then there was all these unrealistic expectations that come with that. um, but for me, I'm more of like, well, I'm initiate the conversation. I'm not really looking for it to go anywhere in particular, but I just want, I just want to get to know you. Now, in doing that, now I'm not sure where the relationship, the friendship could possibly go, but I just feel like my intentions are pure. I can't, say that for the other person, because I'm just like, in that setting in church, it's like, okay, well, this is my brother in Christ, so I just want to really get to know this person's story. So that's like the first initial intention, and then as you continue to build, then it could possibly be something more as you get to know each other. So because I feel like friendship, like you said, Darius, it kind of friendship and relationship kind of go hand in hand, because at the base you want to be friends with the person that you ultimately choose to spend the rest of your life with. So I
Yes.
think friendship is very important, but how you see that and how you build towards that is you have to be very careful that you're not manipulative from the jump. Like am I just being friends with this person because I want to see where it goes, or I genuinely was trying to be friends with this person and it organically gets there? Because I just
Right.
want to make sure that I was trying to figure that out, because sometimes when you guys were sharing, it just seemed like, well, I'm going to be friends with a woman, it's because I'm attracted to them and I want to be something more. And it's like there's that missing conversation that I was trying to look for, because it's like, well, are you genuinely trying to be that person's friend? And if it doesn't work out, okay, then you figure out what your boundaries are, because boundaries are important in any relationship anyway. So it's just like, you just don't want to be manipulative in your approach of, I want to be solely this person's friend because I want to see something more. And if I don't get what I want, then I don't want to be her friend anymore. Then it's like, well, was it genuine from the beginning, or is it
Mm.
just like
Let me say
that's
something to
my
that.
intention?
Let me say something to that. I feel you, and that's why I say it's nuances to all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because just like I tell people, I have befriended, you know what I'm saying, females before, you know what I'm saying, and I have female friends from my past that are still friends with me to today. And the thing of it is, just like you have to have honest conversation, and just like if a dude say, I don't get what I want, you know what I'm saying, we can't be friends. That show the maturity of that guy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
for the most part, you know what I mean, you can. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to be mentally strong enough to be able to handle the changes and build the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And fortify the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because just like I tell people, hey man, yeah, you could be friends. Yeah, you could build a relationship or friendship, you know what I'm saying, with between a man and a woman. But the thing of it is, very healthy have conversations have to happen. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't happen, it won't manifest the way you want it to. It'll turn into a very immature thing, and somebody gonna get hurt or both parties get hurt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody have an unrealistic expectation of the outcome, which some people have outcomes in their head, and they gone and swoon off into some kind of virtual reality. I want to be brought back to reality when the person be like, "Hey man, what you doing?" You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And yeah, you just have to be healthy with your conversation. If you ain't healthy with your conversations, you ain't gonna be able to build friendships. You
That's
know
so
what I'm
real.
saying? Because you won't be telling the truth. You've hiding your intentions, and if you hiding your intentions, you lying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a
You know what
lie.
I'm
Yep.
saying?
No,
That's a
no matter.
Yep.
lie.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
lie.
Or like the young people say, that's a cap.
Right.
That's cap.
That's cap.
That's a cap. That's a cap. Hey,
Oh
brother, can I
man.
say something about that, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing I say, and like to like what Miller was saying and everything we're touching on, what's the foundation of this friendship and what's the boundaries of it?
Mm-hmm.
Because even like I say, and it go both ways. If you know, if you want to befriend this guy and we're married, why? Like, what is it about this guy that makes you want to become friends with him? Because I was your friend before too. So what is it? And it's the
Mm.
same thing. I would expect that same type of thing back with me if I'd be like, well, this lady, my friend, especially if you never met her or she
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been around, with us being together or whatnot, you never heard her name or something. I'm an independent contractor and I deal with women all the time. But I established the boundaries early because it's like, no, man, like we gonna have this is strictly professional, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't go beyond that. Like because one thing is I'm not gonna mix that with my money. And the other thing is, I'm already committed to someone, so I don't. So sorry, ladies, you know what I'm saying. But I don't want that to interrupt. You know what I'm saying? My path of my household. Like, no, man, you can't get that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But and I can't help if she attractive, and if she can't help that, I'm attractive. You know. But it's like, hey, you still got to establish those boundaries early. But I just think the best question to ask in that circumstance is why, because you avoid all the other stuff that we talked about.
Mhm.
Because I'm just trying to figure out why, if you're in a committed relationship, why do you want to friend this guy? Like, you know what I'm
Yes, I
saying?
see.
And
I
it
see.
can
That's
be
the
a
thing.
good, valid reason.
Yeah. Well, see, I see the thing that we've been touching on the most is if you're in a committed relationship already, right?
Right.
I'm single, so
Right.
that for me is different because it's like I can be friends with anybody and it don't matter because I'm not
Yeah,
committed
you
to
can
no
be
one.
friends with. Yeah, you good.
So
You
like,
good. You ain't
so
got
I
no.
get the side of marriage, not maybe in depth because I'm not married, but I have married friends and I have
Right.
you guys, of course. So it's like I get it. Like I could completely 100% agree that if the friends that we knew coming into this committed relationship, anybody outside of that, I'm questioning it.
Yeah.
I completely agree. But me as a
Yeah.
single
Right.
woman,
She's trying to get some single woman game so she can protect herself from
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the
And
werewolves
hey,
out here.
yeah.
And yeah,
I'm gonna tell you like this, Miller. What you have to be mindful of is the married guy that's trying to holler. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Or
that's
you just
real.
got to be mindful. You and this is why, like you say, it's important to know yourself. You got to check the guy on his intentions. This is the
Hmm.
same advice I would give my daughter or my niece. You got to check the guy, check him on his intentions. Where's his mindset? And a big part of that is your maturity level. Because if your maturity level ain't thorough, then you're gonna fall for the game. And
Hmm.
next thing you know, you just part of the team. You know what I'm saying? So I would get that would be my advice to you. Hey, check his temperature. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
See where his intentions are, and not just words. You know, just see if he back it up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So and that take time, and that's the part. Sometimes being single, because we all been single. Sometimes that's the challenging part. The wait period. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But I think it's very much necessary. I made a bunch of mistakes not waiting, whole bunch of them. Cost me a whole lot of money too, probably more than what Steve Harvey spent on his. Talking about some man, please.
No, I think it's good that you say that because I'm a if you don't know by now, I'm a very vocal person. And Darius
Right.
and Steve know this. But like I'm pretty clear about my intentions, you know. I just
right.
feel like the people that I've dealt with aren't clear about their intentions because they're just like I can see through. I'm a big energy person, so I can pick up energy if we're in person or even we are apart. Like I pick up on energy, and I already know. Like I'll just be like, okay, and they'll say it, and I'm like, I knew this already. So my heart and my mind is already prepared for the conversation that they think that they just bringing new news to me, but it's like I already peeped the game. So and then also I have Darius as a mentor, I have Steve as a mentor. So these are, I definitely love that you brought that out because I think that's just important too, because it's like if you don't know what your intentions are, you'll just fall for any game. Like, and I'm not saying that
Mm-hmm.
like I haven't fallen for any game because this is a new and improved Bella that you're seeing because 5 years ago it was a different story. so, so,
I'm about to say something.
please keep it to yourself. So
Nah, leave it
the
alone,
other
man. Leave it
hand,
alone.
the other hand is not going to get chopped on your neck, and you'll just be a headless Darius walking around here. But no, I think it's good. I think that's good, even for me, and a reminder for me, and definitely for those who are listening who are single. You know, a single woman. That's the only perspective I can really speak from. I'm not a single male out here, but yeah, I do think that if you don't, honestly, I feel like it just goes back to you anyway. I think someone says it is like you just have to know what your intentions are, and boundaries are, a thing that needs to be discussed, and you need to have clear, healthy communication throughout
Uh-huh.
any,
Exactly.
because if you're not having those conversations, then you just kind of left it up to assumption, and
Yeah.
you're assuming that this person likes me because they're spending a lot of time with me, or they took me on several dates, and so I think it is
Exactly.
like, actually, no, I don't. That's not where my head is, and you're just
Yeah.
assuming based on action, and you're not asking,
Yeah.
real questions.
And sometimes they just be wanting to talk to you for you can smell your neck meat. You know what I'm saying? And
I cannot.
This is going to a weird place.
hey,
Yes, you might want to take.
hey, but I'm gonna say one more thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something.
All right.
For the
Yes,
ladies, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all a tip. You know what I'm saying? Just ask questions.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if this is a good point right here. If a dude get aggravated for you asking a regular question,
he's a meathead.
He's stupid. You know what I'm saying? And you could that to clearly show you that his intentions are not true. You know what I'm saying? Especially if just like if a dude just like if you say, hey, what are we, or something like that. Cause you could smell what he doing and you be like, hey, I see what you're doing. What are we? Man, what you mean, what are we? You know what I'm saying? That's a clear indication that he already had some
of cap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cap. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, that joker got a visor because he ain't got nothing to cover his head. You know what I'm saying?
I am done.
That's a visor.
Oh,
I remember me and my wife's first date. She asked a bunch of questions, and I was just like, "This, this feels good. This feels good." Because it's a common perception. Like I've had lady friends that'll be like, "Oh, I can't ask him that." Why not? Why not?
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, why not ask him that question? That's a valid question. You know what I mean?
I feel like it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! There's so much.
And then the thing too, if you and ladies, all right, E rating on. No, I'm just playing. But ladies, you know what I'm saying? If a dude tell you what he show up there about, don't think you can change. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's another thing.
If he show up, and say he a werewolf and he trying to smell that neck meat.
Oh my god!
Hey man, you better believe.
Don't get away from me if you ain't.
Exactly, because if you ain't offering neck meat, you might as well go ahead about your business because he there for neck meat and neck meat only.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, Miller, and this for you and the ladies too. I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna go back to mental health. You gotta make sure you mentally in check because it's almost like Darius said. It's a lot of women out here that think that their Victor can change the way a guy operates. I said Victor. I hope everybody kind of get, what Victor started with and what I'm referring to. But
exactly,
they can change the way a guy operates just
Box.
with that. And that, no, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, check the women got to check their mental health too. And it ain't up to me. It ain't up to me to know what you thinking. It ain't up to me. Like Stephen Neal said, that just shows Stevie. That shows Stevie level of maturity when he met his wife because he was like, the questions feel good. You will know when you get on that mature level. Because not saying I'm saying when you talk to a guy that's on that mature level because he'll have that conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But and for the women that's out here, man. Get your mental health in check because it ain't up to me to heal your wounds either. So
period.
Go talk to somebody.
Say that again.
You know what I'm saying?
And fellas too. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, that go without being said. Go sit on the couch. Talk to somebody.
Yes.
Heal your mother issues, man.
Please, because I'm not her.
You know what I'm saying?
It won't be.
Heal all your past wounds of the scalawaggers that did you wrong.
Right.
That part.
See, and that's why I was gonna say something after Steve and what he shared in regards to women not initiating these necessary conversations. Because it goes back to experience, Like, not to say, because if they don't do the part that we were just talking about, the mental health part is so important, because I feel like being able to do that for myself last year definitely freed me in a lot of different ways, where I don't intend for whoever my significant other is going to be to fill all these gaps. That's God's job. But I do feel that, that mental health piece is so important, because it breaks down all these stigmas that you've built in your mind, I can't do these things because when I did them before, it resulted in this. And so now, because I did that before and it resulted in this, I'm afraid to do it in this. But because I didn't take that extra step to really take care of my mental health and really unpack that, now I see every man as that. If I share this with, even on if it's on a friendship level, it's on a romantic relationship level, whatever the case may be, business, whatever, it's just like, it affects every part of your life. Yeah. And if you're not intentional about becoming whole, you'll have a hole, in the places where, like, it's very pertinent. Like you said, I can't read your mind, you can't read mine. So if I'm not asking questions, that if I see something in you and I'm like, oh, I should bring this to his attention, I wonder if he knows this, but I'm gonna just wait till he knows it about himself, and then he bring it to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I saw it 2 months ago. I wasn't gonna say that then, but I'm glad we're having this conversation. That's like 2 months ago. We could have been, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, I think it's like this mentality that I feel like creeped up in the singles ministry a lot. Is like, you see somebody over there struggling, but but she's closer to that person, so that person is gonna call it out, right? And it's like, but if you see it, why don't you say it? It doesn't matter if you're close to that person or not. Of course, come in a loving way, speak the truth in love. But it's like, is that person ever going to realize that issue about themselves if it's not addressed in a way that's attacking that person or making them feel less than, of course. But it's like, I care about you so much that I want to ask these questions to help you think through it. I'm not telling you a suggestion. I'm saying that you should do it this way or that way. I'm just provoking conversation to make you think about it. And that tells me a lot that tells me a lot about people too, and the way they respond, because the truth hurts, especially if you already feel like you come to some truth yourself and then somebody else sees it. You're just like, I feel exposed. And at that point, you have to figure out, am I going to really take this person in consideration, that what they're saying is because they care for me and they want to see what's best in me? Or am I going to take offense and now I'm just going to completely shut down and just move on? That tells me a lot about a person in those situations.
Tell them, Mel, you're talking good. And I think that's all good stuff we gave it for everybody. We gave y'all about 35, 40 minutes of conversation myself. So if you ain't learned nothing today, the title of this conversation is, you better have some good healthy conversations and don't just be sitting over there waiting on somebody to tell you who they are. Ask about who they are. Because if you don't ask about who they are, they'll never really reveal it. Because guess what? Some people just like, man, I'm about to get into something else. They're gonna dig a deep hole. Never mind. No, hey man, I want to see women that show up and be superwoman. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time men have to show up and be Superman. Show your super self. Don't let the man have to show up and be everything and anything. You show up and be everything and anything.
Bring something to the table, God damn it.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's unfair. Y'all be talking about balance.
Not just Victor.
Exactly. And just not Victor. You better learn how to have a conversation. Because just like a very popular comedian asked this question, oh man, it's gonna get deep. Will this take us off E?
I don't think it will.
No. Just say, go ahead with it. Go ahead with it, man. Yeah.
If you don't have Victor, what else can you give a man? You know what I'm saying? Well. Victor stands for something else. Y'all ain't got it by now. Y'all
got it. We got it.
You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have that, what can you offer a man? You know what I'm saying?
How can you add value to the relationship?
How can you add value to a relationship without Victor?
Okay, you know I have to get real vulnerable now.
All right.
So, here we go. I'm just kidding. So, I went through a lot of traumatic things growing up, I was molested at a young age, and I think because that was something that was very valuable that was taken away from me, it almost became my solution, right? So in relationships, that's all I felt I had to offer because that's all I saw myself as. And so in relationships, even if I feel like I gave a part of myself in those times in the space that I was in, it wasn't received as well as the things that I gave physically. And so in those instances, I feel like that's all I was seen as. If I'm not good at these things, valuable conversation, talking about dreams, talk about things that I desire to be, and it's not reciprocated, then it goes back to, well, I guess this is all I'm good for, right? And so I think I can't speak for anybody else, but only myself, I feel like that's all I had to offer. But going through therapy and really taking care of my mental health and becoming becoming less the victim or victimizing myself, and because of that
Come on
action,
now.
I shaped myself, and my mentality was, this is all I have to offer. And that's all I felt like. Even though I gave so much more as myself as a person, mentally I try to be mentally stimulating. I'm career driven. I always dreamed as a kid, like I never stopped dreaming. I'm up to a place where now I'm actually living my dream. So I don't think that part of me was ever like completely destroyed, but it wasn't at the surface either. It was buried deep inside of me because of what at the forefront I thought I felt I had to offer in that way. But going through mental health, and being able to unpack that, it just helped me to see, um, you know, that I had so much more to offer, that the things that I value deep down are the things that I'm going to bring out and prioritize in conversation. I am more than my body. I'm more than this thing. I'm more than sex. I'm more than, these things that I thought of myself, and all I feel like I had to offer. And so now, being able to go through that, being able to heal from that trauma, I can now say, from a free place, that I have so much more to offer than the things that I basically believed about myself, because it was years. This is how I thought of myself for years. And so, it's just, I think in that way, we really don't know what a true person has gone through to make them feel like that's all they have to offer. It could that some people can have that similar journey. I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, but that was what it was for me. I felt like it was solution. Or if I can't talk to you through it, or we can't deal with it in a mature manner, well, let's have sex, or let's do this and let's do that. And it goes further and further from the true problem, and it's never resolved. We have all this stuff swept under the rug because we're benefiting from a temporary experience.
Yeah.
So, I feel like when you're not adamant about, really talking through your trauma, really be serious about your mental health, and really see yourself in a different light, you know, the problem, not the problem, but it starts with you. How do you view yourself is what's going to project on other things, other people. And so, I just feel like if you're not taking the time to really go within, you're going to go without, honestly. So that's what I feel, because that was my experience, and some people can relate to that story, some people have other different things, but I just feel like if that's what I believe that I had to offer all those years, until I was really serious about my mental health and unpacked my trauma and got to a place of true healing and feeling free from that and no longer victimizing myself, then it's like the things that I deeply desire comes out to the forefront, and now I have more to offer to the table than just that. So that's my.
That's a good one. That's good, Mel. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's dope.
that's dope perspective. That's dope. That's a lot of wisdom in that. You know what I'm saying? What you just said, because
Indeed.
that showed that you said I had to stop victimizing myself. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That you had to take accountability for what your act was, your place in the matter, and you had to strengthen yourself. You had to fortify your walls, and you
Yeah.
didn't depend on nobody else to fortify them. You had to go, like you said, you had to go within. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's dope. I
Yeah.
hope y'all ladies heard that.
Yes, sir.
That was a lot of teaching in that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of overcoming this.
Yes, yes,
Take
yes.
notes. Mind over Miller, guys.
Hey, mind your own. Go listen
Yeah,
now.
mind your own. I forgot she changed the name.
So yeah, so that kind of frames that conversation. Man, you guys were right when putting this show
Yep.
together. This was going to take up the whole time. So glad we gave it the time that it required. So we're also going to give some time to kind of spotlight um a sponsor of this program,
Yeah.
Let's go.
um Coach Jak himself.
Yeah,
So
yeah, man.
Coach Jak, he's a coach, teacher, mentor. He's about to talk about what he does, but he offers his services certified. He is a certified in what he does. He's a certified coach, certified teacher, mentor. He has learned from the best to help you be your best.
Exactly.
And you can find him on Instagram at Coach Jak, just like it's spelled here, 88. To kind of start you on the path. What other communications do you want to put out there, Coach Jak?
You said it, man. Before we dive into whatever conversation y'all have, that's Coach Jak, JAK88, and you can. My link tree is on there, so every service I offer and more to come. I got a webinar coming up. Those things can be found on my link tree. The newsletter, I think I got, yeah, the newsletter is on there too. So go subscribe to the newsletter, man, so you can get some weekly, quote of the week and some weekly inspiration to carry into the workplace, or whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a kid in junior high, just get you some of that good thorough motivation, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, um, we're going to just pick your brain. First of all, just how did you find this field? Like, what early on told you that other people need this and I can provide this for people as far as coaching, mentoring, and teaching?
Once I figured out I needed it, that was
Mm,
the biggest bowl of insight ever. Once I figured out, okay, I cannot do all this on my own or by myself, So once I saw that I needed it, I knew it's other people out here like me, that whether they grew up like me or whether they, superstar millionaires, they still need some type of, coaching and mentoring.
Indeed.
Uh yeah. So Coach Jak,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? What are some things that you would like to see, you know what I'm saying, for as Coach Jak CTM Enterprises to go?
Just mainly the two biggest areas I would say is speaking, coaching, and training to the anywhere from eighth graders to seniors in college. Going within the schools and high schools and universities, and just speaking, coaching, and training to them to set them up for success, because it's no real curriculums out there inside of the school systems, private schools included, from my understanding, that give you real leadership training. I mean, you have the JROTC, don't get me wrong, and that's great, that's wonderful. But I'm talking about other critical skills and tasks, because everybody don't want to do JROTC. I
Yeah.
highly encourage it, especially being a combat veteran. I
yeah.
highly encourage it, but everybody don't want to do it. So it's like, to get inside of the systems and coach, speak, and train to the younger generation, so I, along with others like you guys, can make sure I'm leaving a path for them. Like, okay, I can just follow this leadership path right here, and I can really manifest some great things. And other than that, it would be the logistics field. I own my own trucking company. I've seen the rise and fall of my own business, my own logistics business. So, I'm currently on my second trucking company. So to show guys, to coach guys on, how to build up and how to manage their own trucking company, and their own logistics business. So that's the I would say that that's the two biggest areas right now. You know.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a book out here. You know what I'm saying? You not only a speaker, but you are author. You feel me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, let's dive into that a little bit, man. What
Go
would you
ahead.
like to present to people about that? You know what I'm saying? Kick the rooster. You know what I'm saying?
It is a motivational short read, man. As we know, a lot of us and a lot of people, like the market, we in the microwave society, as they call it. Everybody want things quick, they want it right now. So I went into the motivational short read lane so that people can have something to read on their lunch break, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe after they work out, they want to read it in the sauna. I do that sometimes, or maybe they want to, just a short read for the week, through the work week or whatnot. So I went into that lane of motivational short read, and I just tell a little bit of I tell a story a little bit about myself, my military experience, and my business experience, a little bit of personal experience, and I give some tools and insight on, how to manage, and just inspiring people to grow, man, to get up and go, get after it, get kick the rooster is basically derives from getting up early, being an early riser, being a part of that 5 a.m. club, getting up early and getting after it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right. So with I know one thing that I was a part of, you know what I'm saying, was your mastermind program. You know what I'm saying? Like you offer that as well, and you teach out of you know, a very, very great book. You know what I'm saying? And talk about what you want to build through people through your mastermind.
Speaking of that, I got another one coming up soon. It's either gonna be on which I'll post it in my link tree and on my social media sites, but um my Facebook is Coach Jak 88 as well. But
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing with the mastermind groups, man, like the one that I do, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell, the biggest thing is helping people grow and helping people realize to make personal growth a priority,
Mm-hmm.
in their lives, man. Make personal growth a priority. The airlines got it right. If we experience low air pressure, put your mask on first. I don't care if your kid's sitting next to you. And a lot of people think that sounds crazy, but it makes sense. Take care of yourself first so you can be in a better place to take care of your child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing in the workplace. It's the same thing. And I don't care if you are aspire to be an entrepreneur, business manager, or the top custodian in the school district. Take care of yourself. 15 invaluable laws of growth. That's just one of the many, but and that particular one, like I say, is to encourage people to tap into their personal growth and development, to tap
Yeah.
into their own potential so that they can become the best version of themselves in life. And that's the whole purpose behind my business, Coach Teach Mentor Enterprises, is to help people tap into their potential and become a better version of themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I like what you said in like chapter 4, of course, the things that you call tools in your tool bag is discipline, support, positive energy, priorities, persistence, and opposition and opportunity. And one thing I understand, and if you have lived life, you understand that you have opposition and you have opportunity, and most of the time they come hand in hand.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? What are some things that you would like to? What can you elaborate on for the people about opposition and opportunity?
Mhm.
And I would say this, man, and I heard Bishop Jake say this, and I in every opposition there is an opportunity. So when that opposition comes, it may hit painful at first. It may be a surprise because it was unforeseen, just something that just happened out of the blue, or it may be something that you even planned for. But look for the opportunity. Look for the opportunity to overcome. Look for the opportunity to build something better from whatever the opposition may be.
Mm.
For me, it was bankruptcy in my first trucking company. So with that bankruptcy, it was heavy opposition, real heavy opposition. But I looked for the opportunity in it. The opportunity that came from it was me becoming a whole lot more financially aware. Nobody around me had made $1 million before.
Right.
So I didn't know how to manage $1 million. I didn't even know who to talk to get this manageable. So
Right.
I had to go in me filing bankruptcy and starting over. I had to go find the people and the resources, the tools, which I talk about and kick the rooster. You can get that on my link tree or on my website as well. I had to
Barnes and
go
Noble.
find That's it. I had to go find the people and the tools and get into different inner circles to help me change my mindset for one, to be able to manage, when that much revenue is coming in at one time, and had to get around the right people to show me how to better position myself because I was trying to manage a small fleet while still driving at the same time.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that was a mistake in itself, but I learned, through the failure, through the opposition, it gave me that opportunity to really just sit back, settle down, calm down, because things were moving at a real high pace. And another thing that I think Bishop Jake said this too, man. You can tell I listen to a lot of Bishop Jakes, but if the enemy can't slow you down, then he'll speed you up. So you have to
Mm.
be aware of you at all times. So at that moment in time, I was moving at a high pace, man, doing so much and handling so much freight and all of this stuff. So I was just unaware. So it was good that the opposition came because the opportunity was I settled down. Everything around me just got still. And I was
Mm.
able to really tap in and figure out what I needed to know to rebuild and sustain.
Mm.
Oh, I was like, I didn't know if Darius was going to ask another question or give one of us an opportunity.
I'll let y'all go, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And my brother, I call
I
my brother
understand
like
y'all
like
catching up and stuff, and this is a
we
beautiful
ain't never got
moment.
to catch up. We already called. We stay ready for we don't have to get ready.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh, I
sir.
can't. I think it's amazing what you're doing. You remind me a lot of my dad. He's very passionate about.
Her dad, Anthony Hamilton, bro.
No, man,
Melly,
man.
God, Melly, you just opened yourself up for that. I was
Ah!
trying the whole show not to.
I didn't even know.
Charlie.
I heard a singing right before we went live, so that explained it, man.
Oh,
I
see,
can't.
Yeah,
I'm so
man.
sorry.
done, man.
Oh my
If
God.
you're cool, then I'm
Yeah,
cool,
that's
and
it.
we
You
cool.
know what this means, Mello, before you ask your question? You were gonna have to have your dad on to have this out, like once and for all.
Yeah,
Like
we need them
once and
on,
for
man.
all. We're just gonna have to just face this thing head on. But
Exactly. And we're gonna have to
continue.
follow Anthony Hamilton Instagram just to make sure they ain't the same people.
It's
Cause
not.
I'm
He's
talking
not on
about
social media at all.
they look just alike, bro.
They eating dinner somewhere, something.
You've
Exactly.
never seen them in the same place. That's what I
Exactly.
always say. You've never seen them in the same place.
Why, Lord? Why?
All right, that's it. That's it. That's
All
it.
right, we done. We done. I got it out. I got it out.
Anyways, my dad has multiple businesses like myself.
Mhm.
And one of the things he used to do, he was an independent contractor as a therapist, and he would work with young men in the inner city who
Mhm.
was mostly fatherless. Um, and I just love when people like yourself go after the youth in that way. Um, and then also recognizing it's something that you needed, because I feel like a lot of times the things that we do is like things that we lacked, growing up, and we want to be able to give that opportunity to the next generation.
Most definitely.
So in saying that, like what impact do you intend to make, like the legacy that you intend to have, through this service?
That question alone gives me chills, man. But I don't plan on putting a limit on it,
Mm.
Miller. Um, However God see fit, I plan on doing all I can. So I guess I could say this, like what I would hope to see and what I desire to see. Because I'm in the process. I'm gonna build a nonprofit organization.
Mm,
Um, I would hope to see just well trained and conditioned leaders left behind. You know,
mm.
when I take that great walk, that great float on up to the upper room,
Upper room.
it
Okay.
just the biggest thing would be um especially with my direct descent, like my children and their generation, and even people that I'll affect that may be older than me or much
Mm,
younger, whatever the case may be. The biggest thing that I would want to have left behind is just a legacy of promise, a legacy of commitment and truth, of real passionate leaders that don't
mm,
mind going out and putting it all on the line, to add value to the people and to take care of the people. No, not really any selfish motives tied into that. So that's that. But I'm not putting a limit on it at all. Let it
mm.
let it stretch and flow as far as God wanted to.
Yeah.
I just want to do it for the suppos and not the oppose. If they oppose of it, then maybe you should go listen to ET. And no disrespect to ET because I listen to ET. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I'm
Yeah.
saying maybe I'm not just that lane for you. It may be ET. It may be John Maxwell. It may be Inky Johnson.
Hmm.
And I don't really see myself as that type of motivational speaker anyway. My goal is to become more of an iconic mass influencer. And
Hmm.
there's a difference. So I don't. It's not necessarily that I want a million followers. I could care less about that. I'd rather affect a million people in a positive way than to have a million followers. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with 10 and 1. I don't care what the number is. So that's why I say, I just put no limit on it. Just becoming the iconic mass influencer, and the ultimate entrepreneur in the process.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Um, so back to your book, back to Kick the Rooster.
Hmm.
And I just want to show this one more time, just to give the people an idea what to look for. Um, Great read, and I particularly like the aspect of chapter 3 of respecting the process,
Hmm.
um, because I think that can be probably what, if not the most difficult part of this. I
Hmm.
mean, you can get up and kick the rooster, do your planning, really apply yourself, but then the process is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Um, so, um, do you want to get into like what has that been for you, and then like just more in detail on that point?
Yeah, great question, man. That right there, respecting the process, it's been very challenging. It's kind of like I spoke of when we talked about when we opened up the segment with how you living. Being in transition, man, it's a rough thing and it's a challenging thing, and it can be scary. So that's what I would like to say that first off, because I think a lot of people sit back and look at like, oh man, he got this and he got that, or she got this going on, she got that going on. But it's a process, man, that you gotta respect in doing all of this to achieve anything that you see. And I like to refer to it, Stephen Neal, as the iceberg illusion. You
Mm,
only seeing the top 10% of anytime the people see me, you only seeing 10%. The
Mm,
other 90% is the rise and the fall, the struggle, the failures, the disappointment, the wins, the losses, the lessons, and all. And that right there is respecting the process, just so you can see this 10% that you get when you do witness me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's like respecting it for me has been very challenging, and it's still in a crazy way. And I guess this is just the leader in me. It's been exciting, because the growth is happening in the process. And
mhm.
even though it hurt at times, like me and my brother say this all the time, growth and comfort can't coexist. So it's not really supposed to be comfortable.
Mm.
So respecting the process, it's been uncomfortable, it's been challenging, it's been exciting, it's been fun at times, it's been painful. I cry sometimes, I laugh sometimes, but through it all, I just trust the process, man. Respect it and keep blazing that trail behind God, And I would encourage anybody else. It's like John Maxwell said, man. I can say this now. One of my mentors, John Maxwell, said, um, you know it was a guy wanted to spend the day with him. And he said, okay, but the guy saw at the end of the day that hey man, your life is kind of boring, you know. And John Maxwell was like, yeah, but I sold 27 million books with this boring life, But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's just but what the guy saw was John Maxwell's process, how he get up, he read, he write, he file and he repeat. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and he have meetings and stuff like that and interviews and he asks a bunch of questions. So it's not that his life is all fun and I'm real wealthy, so I do all this exciting stuff all day. No, man, I work. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it may be boring, seem like a boring process to you, but because I've trusted this process and I respected it, I sold 27 million books. What
Mm-hmm.
have you done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would encourage anybody. It'll get just like this challenge my brother got me on right now. I be cussing him out sometimes. He don't even know it because
Hey.
I gotta drink a gallon of water. I can't have no alcohol. I can't eat no ice cream. So but it's just respecting the process, man. Trusting the process because I'm seeing results that way. And that's what I would encourage anybody. Just it may get boring and repetitive, but repetition is the heart of learning, man.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Yeah,
That's
that's it.
good.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because I like what you said. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we say a lot. Is growth and comfort can't coexist, and that's something a lot of people get tired of the growth aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because the growth aspect is the most uncomfortable part. You know what I'm saying? And just like with comfort, it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You get lackadaisical, you coexist, you know what you do, because there is repetition in comfort,
Mm-hmm.
but
Hmm.
it ain't no repetition towards going nowhere. It's just like a rocking chair. You know what I'm saying? You just go back and forth, but you moving, but you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But growth is actually going out there, toiling the land. You know what I'm saying? Tilling the dirt, climbing the mountain, and getting there. And I know that's an aspect of your life that I've witnessed, you know what I'm saying, and an aspect of your life that I feel like you call people to, you know what I'm saying? And in calling people to that, what are some jewels you can give people as far as just handling that growth aspect?
Stay close to God, man, so that the pressure don't make you explode. And I'll give the best way I know how to explain that because it was told to me. Stay close to God so that the pressure don't make you explode. Like you got to keep your mind on God, on a kingdom type mentality. Like what's your why? It's the best way for me to explain that. What's
Mm-hmm.
your why? Why are you doing this? What drives you? What motivates you? What's your ultimate goal? And that comes down for me to the power of service,
Mm.
and just answering that call from God, man, to add value to the people, and whatever way that may be for yours may not be to be a speaker, coach, or trainer or a mentor,
Right.
Yours may be you just a teacher in high school or a basketball coach or whatever the case may be. It's just like for you all, it's this platform is one of them. So it's like you know, that's one jewel I would give, man. Stay close to God and always, always put yourself first. And I know society has taught us the opposite, but when I say put yourself first, I don't mean be selfish and
Mm-hmm.
inconsiderate. I mean put your personal growth and development on top of everything because you're gonna need it. It should be you and God, then everybody else. But that personal growth and development is important, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So I like one thing that, you know what I'm saying, I learned about growth is like a lot of people expect growth to just happen. Growth is not something that comes with age. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Growth comes with you actually doing what you said, putting yourself in position to be. I need to prioritize myself. I need to figure out what I want to grow at, what I want to be, because what you have in your mind just ain't gonna manifest yourself itself. You can say it, but if you don't do nothing to work it, just like I say, work. Faith without works is dead. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you have to do that, and just like most of the time, people want to, you know what I'm
Brother
saying,
Darius.
just
Darius.
huh?
Hold on 1 second, man. I got a 911. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
All right. Well, why
911.
y'all waiting on Coach Jak to come back? You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
edit this part out of the audio anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many chicken tenders do it take to make a McNugget?
You
Exactly.
know, McNuggets are just not real chicken anyway.
Exactly. They don't take none, zero. You know what I'm saying? McNugget is made from the back of a chicken.
Isn't
But
it like kiwi or something? I forgot what.
kiwi,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Something.
it's
No, I'm thinking of the fries. It's something. It's some derivative of what
what
it supposes to be.
oh
I
snap.
don't
You
even
know
I don't
that?
even eat at McDonald's anymore.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, it is what
I
it is.
know.
But the song though, dropping nuggets a day, no chicken.
No
Exactly.
chicken.
We haven't made
Exactly.
that yet. I feel like that song will go viral,
It would.
Yeah, it would. It would.
especially the visuals. Can you just imagine like somebody like in slow motion dunking a
Exactly.
chicken nugget in some sauce?
Bruh. And
Oh,
then
oh.
you pull the sauce out. You pull the sauce out, and then wisdom come out.
Hey man, y'all can blame that 911 on Darius, man. This challenge he got me on, I gotta drink a gallon of water a day. So I've been this is just I like got one more things to do, man. This is a whole leader. So man,
Hey, man,
Mm.
good
yeah,
job, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
glad.
yeah.
good
Took
job.
care of that.
You know what I'm saying? I
I
feel
can't
you.
wait till he start the challenge.
Hey man, I started May 16th. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I was saying about what I was talking about. I forgot already. Bro, they're gonna be a crazy part of the recording if we put it out there.
Have a 911. Back from the 911.
Man, they're getting chicken nuggets. What is it? You know what I'm saying? But nah, but yeah, just far as just like the process of growth and going through what we have to be what we need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have goals. I know Mella got goals, Stephen Neal got goals, I know Coach Jak got goals. You know what I'm saying? Growth is a essential process, but oftentimes we don't really tap into it because we think growth just comes with days. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Or with time. But the thing it is, if you're not intentional about growth, growth doesn't manifest. You know what I'm saying? You just go through being the same you or doing the same things, expecting different results. Kind of like this circle of insanity.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, what are some things that you currently have to grow through right now? You know what I'm saying? Like in life, right at this moment, what are some things you want to grow through as a
Um,
coach?
as a coach, man, I gotta go back to myself a little bit before I go all the way into a coach because I do believe in the concept of developing yourself so that the business can develop. So, um, the biggest thing is just guarding my self talk and keeping to continue to defeat myself every day. You know, this challenge that you got me on, and I'm saying my brother got me on the challenge because he introduced it to me, and um, but it's a good thing. It's a real good thing, and just growing through each and every day of defeating myself, man,
Mm,
crushing my own self-limiting beliefs. You know what I
right.
mean? That's the biggest thing that I want to continue to grow through because I know that as long as I continue to grow through that, then I'll be able to add the most value to my clientele and to my clients and to the
Right.
people that I have to add value to anyway, my children, you know, all of that, my family, my significant other. I'll be able to add value to them and I'll be able to become the best version of myself, which if I'm out here serving the people, then they deserve that.
Right.
So, that's the biggest thing now, just growing through defeating myself every day.
All right, I'm gonna start asking questions. Y'all can talk, man.
No, they're good questions. They're good
Yeah.
questions, Darius J. So I'm trying to. Do you have any more
All
questions,
right, I'm
Melody?
finna go again then.
I
All
feel
right,
it.
go
You know
ahead.
what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying? I was trying to let y'all go, but here I go. You know what I'm saying? Tell
You
us a
asked all.
little.
You asked all the questions I was going to ask. There you
Not
go.
not only are you, you know what I'm saying, an author, coach, teacher, and mentor, you also have a podcast. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was birthed from the idea of adding value to the people, of course. You was my first guest, and my brother, he actually encouraged me to do it. I threw the idea at him, and he was like, what you waiting on, man? So, and you all are a part of that as well. Stephen Neal, Keep It Real, and Melody. So, um. It's the Sedulous podcast, man. It's created to add value to the people. Sedulous stands for dedication and diligence, and the concept and idea behind it is just to bring other entrepreneurs in and like-minded people to speak on their process, and to speak on what they have endured to get to where they are. That
Mm,
way it encourages other people to, whether they're new to entrepreneurship or business management, or they want to start a business, or they're age old veterans in the game. It's just to add value and put that insight out there so people can grow from it. So that's the concept behind it. We got an episode coming up that we're doing tomorrow. It probably won't be released until later this week, but about financial freedom with Mrs. Katrina Turner. So
mm,
it's gonna be real awesome, man. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. I've been keeping up with this podcast, and the different
yeah.
people you've been able to talk to. Um, people with clothing lines, people with like, the cleaning business in Chicago, with that lady like that. I just different people each time. I feel like that is like it just sees different people see themselves uh
What they
in
can
this
do.
situation and what they can
Yeah.
do.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah, because
right.
I like all the podcasts because they're like I tell my brother he asked great questions. I was like, dang man, that's what we asked some good questions, boy. I'd be like, dang, you can't help but answer the questions good. You know what I'm saying? And just like the process in the season, like, do you see yourself as being a avid podcaster? Like, do you wish for that platform to grow with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, or
Of course. I mean, go ahead and finish your question.
nah, it's because like some people, they do stuff, they be like, hey, if it grow, it grow. But you know what I'm saying? But most of the time being who you are, you know what I'm saying, and being, what I'm saying, as charismatic as you are, you can most of the time things that you start, they tend to come and bud with you because the thing it is as we grow as human beings and grow in the things that we do, you have more hearers, more seers, and stuff like that because we are in a digital age where we all seem like each other. I got a camera looking at me right now. I got another camera on the right of me looking at me. It ain't known, but I know the NSA. No, I'm just playing.
I could
Listening
not.
to me. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause anytime me and my brother get on the internet waves, they be like, hey, you gotta listen to it because they gonna take over the world one day. But,
I
you know what I'm
can't.
saying? Like, do you wish to grow it all organically? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, man. It like goes back to what I was saying earlier. I appreciate the question too, man. As I continue to develop myself, it's like the quote of the week I put out about, as you develop, as you grow, your business and the things you call forth in life will too. So, I plan to of course, continue to tap into my personal growth and development so that the things around me and the people around me will continue to grow.
Right.
That's so. Yes, I would say will I be at the what they call it, the iHeart Podcast Awards or something like that? Like, no, I'm not.
You
But
will be there. Cause if you
yeah,
as good
I
as you
may.
are and you keep putting out this hot lava, you're gonna be there. Don't limit yourself. You just did what you said you're trying not to do, boy. Don't do that no
No,
more.
man. What I'm saying is this, brother. I appreciate the check right there. But what I'm saying is, if they invite me or not, I'm not worried about it.
Oh yeah, that's
Gotcha.
true.
What I'm more
It's
worried
not your
about is,
motivation.
Exactly.
yeah,
Cause all
yeah,
I do is
like
punch Charlamagne the God in the face.
right. So I'm not worried about if they invite me. It's more so, the people. Like you say, Steve. My motivation behind it is the people that'll hear it and they'll go start their own clothing line like Big Man Culture, or they'll go, start their own cleaning service, or they'll become financially free, or whatever, or they may start their own podcast, or whatever it drives them to do. I just hope it ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I know you're a person big on relationships. You know what I'm saying? And positive energy. What are some things that you will give people from what you've learned in your past, your present, and what you future forecast about relationships and positive energy?
The first thing that come to mind is gratitude. Be grateful that you're above ground and you got another opportunity. Um, the next thing, as far as like relationships and positive energy, relationships are classroom, and you need to be present. So be present, keep an open mind, and study your material in that classroom.
Right,
Relationships are classroom, so there's gonna be material handed to you
right,
from that person, whether it be positive or negative energy, or whether it be some insight, or whatever the case may be. So be present, study that material, and then you will know how to move with that relationship.
yeah,
Whether that's a relationship with a mentor, whether that's a relationship with a friend, or a significant other. Study your material, man. Take time to reflect on it so you'll know which direction y'all are going in, and the things that you
yeah,
could do to add value.
yeah. Yeah, because we have to be careful, the people we let in, and even to be careful who in the classroom or who you in the classroom with, because sometimes you can pull up to a classroom and you're like, oh man, this is a pyramid scheme. Yeah, get out
Right.
of here.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
protect it. Yeah, protect
yeah,
the relationship, man. That's a big thing. Like, you definitely want to protect the relationship.
you know what I'm saying? Because you want to protect yourself because there's a lot of people that could try to come into you and just feed off your energy. You know what I'm saying? Be people that just constantly have their hand out and they add nothing to you or bringing nothing to
Hmm.
you. And if they bringing something to you, they don't be nothing but mess. We have to be
Right.
positive. We have to be cognizant of that too, because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, as people, you know what I'm saying, we want people to be good to us because we being good to people. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But a lot of time that just ain't true. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Because
the
they're
case.
like that DMX said, you got to recognize people to be able. Snake, he gonna bite you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Hmm.
you have to be aware. You know what I'm saying? And the thing of it is, you have to be. I feel like even at the point that we was talking about earlier, you have to be aware of yourself and knowing what's your soft spots and what
Hmm.
help people to get close to you, because that when people recognize the soft part of you, they're gonna use that part to manipulate and get closer in. You have to
Right.
be, you know what I'm saying, aware.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, this has been a good interview so far. So as we wrap things up, because you do a lot of things, and you coach, you're a motivational speaker, you're an author. The list goes on. So what would you say to someone who kind of has that same mindset? That's kind of getting into this, business. Like, what would be your advice for them? Because I know, as myself, I wear different hats as well, and sometimes it can be hard to balance all that. So, what would be kind of your advice to that person that's kind of getting into, those type of titles, and break into, who they are and what they could contribute in that space.
It's a few things, Mella. One of them would be just know your reason why. Um, know your reason why, and you don't have to just have one reason why. Uh,
Mm,
this is I don't know if the people can see it. This is a list of my reason whys.
mm,
And as you can see, that covers a full page, and there's more than that. So know your reason why, because and it may just be one reason, but at the end of the day, that will keep you getting up in the morning. That'll keep you getting up without an alarm clock. Like ET say, get up without the alarm clock. My passion wakes me up. So
mm.
I still use one, but but I ain't on ET level yet. But sometimes I don't need one. Sometimes, my passion do wake me up because my mind hadn't stopped toiling from the night before, or it's just a signal to get on up and get after it. Kick that rooster, let's go. So,
Mhm.
you know, um, what's your why? And outside of knowing your why, try and figure out what lane you want to go in. Like, who do you want to impact and influence? Because so many times it'll be like everybody. Like if you ask me right now, sometimes I'll be like, man, I just want to get this to everybody. I want everybody to feel this energy, or
Mhm.
everybody to feel this good, or everybody to know, how to structure their business for profit first.
Mhm.
So, but I have to narrow it down and say, okay, what's my target market audience? What do I want to impact first? What's most priority? You know, that and just dive into it, man, and trust the process. Don't allow anyone to tell you can't. Just go for it, and you sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So take the lesson. If you go for it and you take that L, then learn from it. Go back to the drawing board and re-strategize and figure that thing out.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's
And
Mm.
good.
let me say this too, Mel. Find
Mhm.
somebody who's doing it.
Oh yeah.
If that's what you desire to do, whether it's to get the speaker, coach, or trainer lane, find somebody that's doing it and follow them. And when I say follow them, we got the advantage nowadays because of the social media and everything. You can follow a John Maxwell or ET or Inky Johnson or Tony Robbins, any of those guys that are on a major platform, and stay away from the comparison gap. Stay
Mhm.
away from saying I don't allow myself, and I still have my moments, but I don't allow myself to really, really, truly compare myself to a ET or John Maxwell. Long as I stay away from that, because it's just like ET may have a million people he talked to or deal with, it's a million more people that he may not never get a chance to see.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is, just stay away from that comparison gap, man. I really respect those guys for what they do, and I follow them, for their insight and wisdom. So, and I would encourage someone else to do the same.
Mm. That's good. That's good advice.
Mhm. That's good advice. That's good.
Right. Right. So, I mean, this has been a great conversation. We were glad to have you on, and
Mhm.
especially because this is um, a 3-year anniversary,
Yeah.
basically
3 years we've been in the
this week.
game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Uh,
saying?
Let's
Turn
get
so,
it.
three.
so
All right.
to have another podcaster who's kind of branched off this tree, so to speak,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into final thoughts at this time. So that's basically just just an additional thought to bring to kind of wrap things up, something from the conversation or something you want to plug. It's your opportunity to do so. We'll go around. We'll start with a special guest. So, what's your final thought, Coach Jack?
It's something that I stole from Mella, and I don't even know if she said it. If she, not if she said it, I don't know if she remembers saying it.
Uh,
But Mela said it's a quote, and I'm gonna put this in my quote library. Be intentional about being whole, or you will have a hole. You know, and I
mm,
put Mela G under that thing. You know what I'm saying? So
hey.
that's my final thought, man. Hey, to the people, to everybody that's listening and watching, or whatever the case may be intentional about being whole, being the best version of yourself. If not, you will have a hole. You'll be spinning your wheels, man. This thing we call life. And as far as stuff I want to plug, hey man, Coach Jak 88. You can
Mhm.
follow me. Jack is JAK, or you can go to CoachJack.com and subscribe to my newsletter. Did I say that right? Subscribe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
subscribe.
Subscribe to the
Hey,
newsletter.
I'm country now, so but subscribe to my newsletter and check the go buy the book, man. Check it out. Read it on your lunch break. Share it with your friends.
Mm,
Same thing with my merchandise. You can go on my link tree on my website. You can get your sedulous hoodie like my brother Darius got on, or your thermos. Um, and other products are on there. Um, I will post about my mastermind group. So if you want to be a part of it, just let me know once I put it up on my link tree. Shoot me a message if you want to book me one on one to talk logistics. You can do all that right from my link tree on my website. So I
exactly.
appreciate y'all having me on as well, man. It's been an
Man,
honor.
I appreciate you being on.
Yes.
And when you join the mastermind, you got to buy a book and you got to read. If you don't read, you better learn how to.
That's right. Hey, a book and a journal. You
And
got
a
to have a
journal.
journal. Yeah.
If you ain't got either of those and you don't plan on reading, don't come to the book because you're going to tell on yourself when he asks you a question.
Right.
And like, look, he ain't read. You can't read, just say that. I'm just
Oh man, final thoughts, Melody.
um, Darius, man. Um, no, this has been a really good episode. I really appreciated our segment on Steve Harvey's thoughts in regards to relationship. I love talking about relationships. I love always being able to see from different perspective and angles. I think the biggest thing that we talked about today that I definitely want to make sure that um, is said in this final thought is take care of your mental health, guys. I know we have friends that we confide in and people that we trust and they have their best interest and they care about you, but professional help is not make you crazy. Doesn't is Nothing's wrong with you. It's just good to be able to have a non-biased opinion from somebody who went to school for this to help you really unpack and see things from a different perspective. Um, so I just think that that is a taboo topic in just the Black community in general. I just feel like when it comes to certain things within our community, is encouraged against doing that. But I'm an advocate for it. I've been to several different therapists until I found the one that works for me, and that happens too. Like sometimes the first person that you come in contact with may not be the one for you. So I think having that in mind from the get go, so you're not discouraged in the process of finding somebody that's going to really help you unpack that trauma and become whole. And become a more healed person, and you're like the past is not going to go away, but the way that you deal with it when it resurfaces will be different once you really take that step to really kind of be healthy. So
right
yeah,
on.
I'm an advocate for mental health, and I encourage anybody who is going through things or haven't really unpacked things that's happened in their life to go after it, and especially if you're single, it's a great and perfect time to do that. The less baggage that you can bring into the next relationship, the better. So yeah.
That's good. Final thoughts, Stephen Neal.
Well, guys,
Oh, we got the close up.
well, it's like mentioned 3 years doing this. It's come such a long way. That's why one of my favorite questions in this conversation was about the process, because it's just so different for everybody. And I just can't say that enough. Like, to not be discouraged if your process looks different in where you're trying to go. And also, just know that you don't 100% control the outcome. You know what I mean? We talked about, finding our why and relying on God. Well, that partially means that you have to be willing to be molded and trained to take different directions than what you originally intend.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, me and Darius started out in this, and I mean, we sat at that Starbucks and we made a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We kind of thought video was like a distant dream or whatever, but we didn't know how we were gonna do it. We didn't know how we were gonna go live or anything like that.
Didn't know. We sound like two old people in that Starbucks.
Exactly. So we just started out with the audio, and we barely got that off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Mela comes along and not only upgrades our audio, because like our Audacity just decided to crash the episode she was gonna be on.
It was intentional.
So then so she took her laptop and just hooked us up, and we had like the best audio we ever had. You know what I mean? And then episode 7, she just decides to turn her phone on, go live on Facebook, and just put it right there on our laptop where we were playing our sound from, and we're live, and we got like 100 comments in like
the conversation was so dope.
30 minutes.
That was crazy.
So, that was just stuff we didn't foresee. And then, of course, adding the guest component to the show was just like expanded it so much. You know what I mean? Like, just so many different people and conversations that we've had has been amazing over these last 3 years. I know last year it was kind of 2 seasons in one, because we started out, Mela was gone, we were back.
We were crying.
We were kind of scrambling, trying to figure it out. And then the pandemic starts, and it threw us for a loop for a long time. Like, because we were getting together.
Yeah, we was in limbo, man.
Right. We were in limbo. It was like, how do we get together? How can we have these conversations without being in the same room? And then Zoom come along, and then platforms like StreamYard, whatever, that comes along. So it just evolves, and it's like a winding road. You have to be willing to take that route and really see where it goes. And just one more thing.
Go ahead.
Just no matter how big or small you start out or where you're at, don't wait to be an influencer in your space and to help others doing what you're doing. Like, we talked about like going to people who are already doing it, but also if you see someone who's doing what you're doing, you like offer your advice to them.
Right.
Because you can help them avoid a pothole that you ran into or whatever. So, whether we have like 100 followers or 1,000 or 10,000, I'm glad that we have not waited to do that. You know what I mean? We've already poured into people creatively, to be able to start a podcast. Like Coach Jak said, Darius helped him get his podcast off the ground. And that's tremendous. And, Mind Your Own. Was started after this podcast, after Mela was on with us.
Exactly. We told her to do
it. Exactly. And I've been able to start another podcast with a friend of mine.
We're just waiting for Darius J to do his thing.
Y'all ain't even ready for that. I'm
ready to crack up every day.
That thing gonna be different, you know what I mean?
So And just like, my business, LXG Creative Company, you
Hey,
Right.
guys,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
this was also born from courage that this gave me. Like,
Right.
y'all don't understand. Like, I went from barely being able to hear myself. I used to be embarrassed about how my voice sounded. I grew up embarrassed about my voice. You know what I mean? So it was just nothing that I thought I could do for a living. And now I'm building a business around it.
yeah.
I
Mm.
think that is crazy to think about. And it wouldn't be possible without this podcast. You know,
Man, you got a
y'all
radio voice, man.
I know. We tell them that all the
Yeah.
time.
Y'all gave my voice vision, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's
Hey
that's
man,
that's
that's what's up.
my
that's what's up.
giving voice vision.
Take my thug tear out and put in my thug tear container.
Right. Is it a
We
little misty in here?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That I couldn't have said that better myself. You know what I'm saying? Steve did that was hard. That was hard. That touched my heart, man.
So, just wrapping my final thought up is that, just it starts with some steps, but be willing to really let itself take you where it take you. Like, don't just come up with a list and then it's like you can't deviate from that. You got blinders
Mm,
on. Sometimes that's a positive, but then that could be a negative too.
right on.
You know, because it started with this podcast and now I have this whole business, this studio, this podcast. All of
Right.
this has just started from two guys on the couch, man. And
Two guys on the couch. Two
so,
guys on the couch.
and this isn't the end.
It's
This
not.
isn't the end. So,
It's not.
that's my final thoughts. I just want to encourage, people on our third anniversary to start their first year. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
Start your first day.
Hey.
you're
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So that's my final thoughts.
Final
So
thoughts, Darius J.
Started
Oh my gosh.
from the bottom. Now we ain't here yet, but we coming. You know what I'm saying? Um, hey man, 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I first want to start out and I just say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mella. Thank you to all the guests. Thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? Most of all, because it was you that brought them two lanes together. For real, God. You know what I'm
you did.
saying? Cause it was I was just getting over the flu cause my brother and them had me out at a New Year's Eve party.
Huh.
I got sick
Wow.
and then it snowed
Oh.
Not my fault, man.
and then we had to have Jazz in a dimly lit room giving a sermon on his phone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he asked the question and it started it all. You know what I'm saying? And we met, me and Steve were like, oh snap, what up? It happened. But just like even like Stephen was saying, trusting the process, man. Carpe diem, seize the day. Don't let the day seize you. Because this life is for the people that's trying to get out here and get it. Ain't nothing wrong with winning. Don't become a loser. You know what I'm saying? God did not put us here to lose. He put us here to continue to fight, to win, the good fight, to do the things that we need to do. Cause who want to show up in front of God and God had this big list of things that you can be and you ain't do it?
Mm,
I think that's a great sin that God gave you all that space and opportunity and you didn't even go after it.
mm,
Just because it was a hill, just because it was a mountain, just because it was a monster. He didn't say you couldn't defeat it. He never told us we couldn't win. We just had to be strong enough to step up to the plate, step up to the monsters, walk up that mountain, walk up that hill. Because if we don't have courage, and the thing about courage, you can't even have it if we ain't scared of something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Good
saying?
point.
Because courage don't just manifest itself just on its own. I ain't sitting in here courageous. It's real easy to be courageous in the confines of these walls. But when you stand in front of that monster, will you tap into that courage, where that courage manifests in that fear?
Yeah.
Because you have to come out of fear to be courageous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With that being said, would you take that step? Will you do the things that you want? Will you do the things that God intended you to do? Because the thing of it is, God won't bless. He wouldn't have blessed us this far because we have come far. This platform you looking at us on, what you listening to us on, we don't came a long way. You know what I'm saying? And every step of the way where we felt like we were gonna give up, He gave us blessings.
Mm-hmm.
We learned, we grew, we expanded. That's what it takes, everybody. Conversators, the
Mm-hmm.
people that know us, the people that gonna get to know us, people that don't know to get to know Coach Jak.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna have to step up to the plate. If you ain't willing to step up to the plate, you'll never get a chance to knock it out the park. You'll
Mm-hmm.
only be a spectator.
Well,
And
well.
and hey man, that's the reason why such things happen in public. Some people have to come sit down and watch us win.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that want to call themselves winners but being a spectator and trying to tell me how to win, I just say, come on down here. I challenge you to come down here and start taking these steps. Start trying to seize this day. Try to seize the days afterwards. Don't give up. Fight. Because that's what it takes. Get mentally healthy, like Mella said.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Be grateful. Because if you ain't got nothing to be grateful about, I mean, what you really doing it for? Know your why, like Coach Jak said. Because he got a whole list. I'm pretty sure he got a whole about 5 pages. But man, I say all that to say this, man. I'm happy to be here 3 years. I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to see my brother grow through what he went through. It's weird to hear him call me Darius.
Ah!
You know
Hey,
what I'm
I knew
saying?
I could get your attention like that. I had a 911. I said, I don't never call him Darius.
Yeah. And yeah, man, just keep trying, man, and keep growing and talk to the people, man. All this stuff that we said right here is beneficial
Oh yeah.
to the growth process. Go check out CoachJak.com. We appreciate y'all checking our conversate. Share our stuff if you learned something from this.
Yeah,
Or if you
yeah.
just felt good about it. Don't comment bad on us because I show up to your spot, I hack your IP address. Now I'm just playing.
Pull up.
But we appreciate everything y'all doing for us, and I appreciate y'all showing up and listening. And we watching the listens grow, watching everything grow. I appreciate everybody being interactive. I thank you. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait. And one last thing, read, man. If you don't read, man, you ain't gonna learn that. I'm gonna just tell you that now. Read.
Three.
I'm done.
Done. We talked about it.
This is conversate.
That's right. We talked about it.
Yes,
And I
I'm
just
sir.
out.
want to I just want to extend an opportunity as well. Um, you know, our whys and just our foundation in God. We talk about this for all of these 60 plus recordings. You guys know us, but we're extending opportunity for y'all to get to know us a little bit better. Um, during the week on Wednesdays, me, Melody, Darius J, we're all in the same small group. We just kind of just get together. It's not a podcast. It's not, anything too big a platform, but it's just people getting together, and you meet some of our friends too that help us on that journey because we don't do this alone.
No.
Stevie Neal doesn't do it alone. Melody doesn't do it alone. Darius J doesn't do it alone. Coach Jak doesn't do it alone. So, hit us up on our social media platforms for, Conversate Podcast or,
Find me
Mel.
on Facebook. My
Yep.
name Darius Cummings.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Facebook as well. Hit us up, get the Zoom link and you can join us, up close and personal, and just meet the people that help us, continue to know our why and find our whys throughout our lives, in God's word, and just great advice and fellowship, man. I extend that invitation to our listeners to join us, man.
Join us. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, everybody need community, man. Community is one of the biggest things that I feel like God intended to happen was community. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
yeah, join the community, conversate, join the revived community. You know what I'm
That's
saying? What
right.
we call.
That's our small group. It's Revive. So just check us out, man. Hit us up on our DMs to get more details. So last part of the show, as usual, Mela, I need those drumsticks ready. We're gonna announce our guest for episode 60. And that guest will be Krista Idowu.
Hey.
Let's go.
Yes, that'll be on May 23rd. So we're not coming in as hot, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
we're gonna cool off a little bit.
We're gonna cool off a little bit.
I'm just excited that it's another woman.
Because I'm older,
of course.
and I can't just keep running full speed. I gotta walk sometime. And I was about to say Krista Badu because she had the Erica Badu thing on. Sorry,
Hot
Krista.
Pod Summer.
That's
hot
right.
Pod Summer. We out here staying hot, potting it up.
Yes.
Not
So yes.
quirking.
So May 23rd. That's our next live episode. So next week, be with your moms, guys.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. That's why we're not getting.
I can't physically be there, but I'll be there with you.
If you can.
Yeah, I'll be with my mom. We're going to Tennessee, man. We're gonna ride up there. You know what I'm saying? Spend some time with my nephews.
So yeah, that'll be going on, and then we'll come back on the 23rd, ready to go, ready to talk to Krista, about her life and her whys.
Yeah. I think you gave us a new thing, them whys.
Gotta have the whys, man. Gotta have the whys.
We appreciate y'all coming up and pulling up, man. Coach Jak, thank you again for spending time with us. Your time is valuable. We appreciate you spending 2 hours and 37 minutes with us.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all conversators for tuning in. I mean, like I said, like, share, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Pull up. All you have to do is type our first couple of letters in with the 8. And I'm telling you, we're going to pull up on you like people that rob you at night for your draws.
That's it.
We out.
And also, we're on podcast. That'll be posted probably in the next couple days. So if you can't watch us, listen to us at work, listen to us on your workouts. We're on Apple, Google, Spotify, Podbean, and more. So 10 different platforms. So this has been
maybe on your mama cassette player.
We might make that. We might make that happen. But in the meantime, we are Conversate.
And we out.
And we out of here.
That's right.